Before Christianity became the world's largest religion, it was illegal. Before churches stood on every continent, believers were hunted, tortured, and executed. But here's the question history rarely asks. Why was Rome so afraid of a group with no army, no power, and no weapons? To understand Christianity, you must first understand Rome. Not the Rome of ruins, but the Rome that ruled the world. A civilization so powerful, it controlled millions of people across 3 continents. And yet, it would be shaken by a movement that began with a carpenter in a forgotten corner of the empire. Rome did not become an empire overnight. It began as a small city, surrounded by enemies. But what made Rome different was not just its strength. It was its system. Roman soldiers were not just fighters. They were disciplined machines. Every movement, calculated. Every formation, deadly. But Rome didn't just conquer with violence. It conquered with strategy. When Rome defeated a nation, it didn't always destroy it. It absorbed it. Roads connected the empire. Laws unified it. And fear kept it under control. Rome offered peace. But it was a peace built on domination. A peace where rebellion meant death. And loyalty meant survival. By the time Christianity emerged, Rome was at its peak. Over 60 million people living under one rule. Cities were crowded, loud, and unequal. The rich lived in luxury, while the poor struggled to survive. Slavery was everywhere. Not hidden, not questioned, but accepted. Religion was also everywhere. But not like today. Rome didn't believe in one god. It believed in many. You could worship any god you wanted, as long as you also honored Rome. Because in Rome, religion wasn't just belief. It was loyalty. And at the center of that loyalty stood one man, the emperor. To refuse the emperor was not just rebellion. It was treason. Now imagine a group of people who refused to worship the emperor, refused to honor Roman gods, and claimed that their true king was not Caesar. To Rome, this wasn't religion. It was rebellion. And what happened next would turn a small movement into a force that would outlive the empire itself. Rome ruled the world. Its armies were unstoppable. Its laws absolute. And its emperor was treated like a god. But then, a small group appeared, refusing to bow, refusing to worship, and quietly declaring that Caesar was not Lord. In the year 64 AD, Rome burned. For 6 days, flames consumed the heart of the empire. Thousands were left homeless. And fear spread faster than the fire itself. And soon, a rumor began to spread that the emperor himself, Nero, had started the fire. Whether it was true or not, Nero needed someone to blame. And he found the perfect target. A strange, growing group, already viewed with suspicion. The Christians. They refused to worship Roman gods, refused to honor the emperor, and spoke of a kingdom not of this world. Nero accused them. And what followed would shock even the brutal world of Rome. They were tortured, burned alive, and even used as human torches. to light the emperor's gardens. But instead of disappearing, Christianity spread. To modern eyes, persecution may seem irrational. But to Rome, Christians were dangerous. Not because they had weapons, but because they challenged something far more powerful: the system itself. In Rome, religion was loyalty. Burning incense to the emperor was not optional. It was a test. And Christians refused. Not because they were rebels, but because they believed there was only one true king. Ironically, Christians were called atheists because they rejected all Roman gods. To Rome, this wasn't faith. It was a threat to divine order. Christians met in secret, often at night, which led to wild rumors. Some accused them of cannibalism, because they spoke of eating the body of Christ. Others believed they were plotting rebellion. Christianity introduced something deeply unsettling to Roman society: the idea that all people were equal before God. Slave, rich, woman, outsider, all equal. In a world built on hierarchy, this was revolutionary. Persecution was not constant, but when it came, it was brutal. Christians were arrested, interrogated, and given a choice: deny your faith, or die. Many chose death. Some were thrown to wild animals. Others executed in public spectacles. But what shocked Rome was not their deaths, but their courage. They did not beg. They did not curse. Many forgave, even as they died. And instead of stopping the movement, persecution made it stronger. Every execution became a message. Every martyr became a symbol. People began to ask, what kind of belief inspires this kind of courage? And slowly, quietly, Christianity spread across the very empire that tried to destroy it. Rome had crushed armies, destroyed nations, but it could not destroy an idea. And soon, something unthinkable would happen. The empire that persecuted Christianity would one day embrace it. Rome tried to destroy Christianity. It burned them, hunted them, executed them in public. But something unexpected happened. The more Christians died, the more the movement grew. And then, a Roman emperor made a decision that would change history forever. By the early 300s AD, Rome was no longer stable. The empire was fractured, ruled by multiple emperors, each fighting for power. Corruption was widespread, loyalty was fragile, and the future uncertain. In this chaos, one man began to rise. His name, Constantine. Constantine was not a Christian. He was a soldier, a strategist, and a man determined to rule. But before one decisive battle, Something happened that would define his legacy. According to historical accounts, Constantine looked into the sky and saw a symbol. Alongside it, a message. In this sign, conquer. That night, he ordered his soldiers to mark their shields with the symbol of Christ. The next day, he went into battle. And against the odds, Constantine won. Was it divine intervention or political genius? Historians still debate. Constantine made a decision that shocked the Roman world. Christianity was no longer illegal. For the first time, Christians could worship freely, without fear. Churches were built, properties returned, and a once persecuted group was now protected. But this was more than tolerance. It was the beginning of transformation. Christianity didn't just survive Rome. It entered its system. Bishops gained influence. Church leaders advised emperors. And faith became intertwined with power. The same movement, once hunted, was now part of the empire. And slowly, the question changed. Not, will Christianity survive? But, what will it become? As Christianity grew, it began to look different. From small gatherings to massive structures. From persecuted minority to dominant force. But at what cost? Some argue that Christianity transformed Rome, bringing new ideas of compassion, dignity, and moral responsibility. Others argue that Rome transformed Christianity, turning a spiritual movement into an institution shaped by power. Maybe it was both. What began as a small group in a distant province had now reached the heart of the empire, and from there it would spread across continents, across centuries, across history itself. Rome is gone. Its emperors, its armies, its power, all faded. But the movement it tried to destroy still stands.